continent or on the continent. And it's a serious issue now as Algeria is pushing Nigeria to the 5th position as regards nominal output. And Nigeria would need to achieve accelerated growth and a firmer currency in order to regain and maintain a spot among the top 3 biggest economies in Africa. Already, we may have lost the 2 top spots to key rivals Egypt and South Africa, as per output data, which was released by the National Bureau of Statistics last week. And also urging close behind, of course, we have Algeria, Ethiopia, and Morocco, which sit on Africa's top 10 table as 4th, 5th, and 6th economies as they hit their projections for last year. The 3 countries will be ahead of Nigeria in terms of nominal output value. So, how can we get back to our glory days? All right, as it is now, all we have, that we can, we boast of out there is, we're the most populous black nation in the world, and that's it. But as regards economy, now there may be, a criteria, or there may be a put in here where we may see Nigeria now being tagged as a low-income economy, and that's what we're edging closer to. So how can we get back to our glory days? There's a lot to take away from this. Forex crisis, free fall of the naira as well. There's just a lot. The food security as well. There's just a lot. So naira depreciation, elevated inflation, and also the food situation. There's just a lot anyways. So how can we get back our glory days? Also, how disturbing is this news of Nigeria falling below countries like South Africa, Egypt, Algeria, Morocco, Ethiopia? And some of these countries are countries that have, their own internal issues or internal crises one way or the other. It's a serious issue when we are falling behind all of these countries now, especially as regards our nominal output. So, how disturbing is it for you as a Nigerian of this news of Nigeria falling below countries like South Africa, Egypt, Algeria, and others? And how can we get back to our glory days? Where, someone was saying the other day that Nigeria is supposed to be like the ʟᴏᴏᴜ of Africa. But here we are now, economy-wise, we're really, really, really struggling. All right, that's the first focal point for the day. The second one we're taking from the front page of New Telegraph, and that is TINUBU to tripartite panel. We may not have answers now, but we're trying. So there's a tripartite, panel that has been set up. That's the Economic Advisory Committee, and their purpose is to address the nation's nose-diving economi. All right, that is their purpose. There's a lot of committees that have been set up in recent times. There's the negotiation committee, also a tripartite one. But the composition of this particular tripartite committee, we have the private sector stakeholders, we have some state governors as part of this. We also have some civil society organizations as well. I mean, the chairman of BUA Cement Company, Abdul Samad Rabiu, is part of this committee. The chairman of Dangote Group of Companies, Aliko Dangote, who is also Africa's richest man, is also a part of this committee. Also have here chairman of Hares Group, Mr. Tony Elumelu, is also a part of this panel. Also, former CBN governor and current Anambra State governor, Charles Soludo, is also a part of this committee. Ogun State governor, Dapo Abiodun, is also a part of this committee. Director General of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Segun Ajayi Kadir, is also a part of this committee. So, what do you think about the idea of a tripartite panel for the economy? I've already, given out, the major stakeholders that have been that compose this particular committee. So, what do you think about the idea of a tripartite panel for the economy? That's a tripartite economic advisory committee to address the nation's nose-diving economy. What do you make of the president's statement that they may not have answers now, but they're trying? And what do you make of the composition of the panel? Can they get us out of this current economic woes? I may have to go back again. I mean, if you have a panel that composes of the chairman of BUA Group, BUA Cement Company, Abdul Samad Rabiu, chairman of Dangote Group of Companies, Aliko Dangote, who is coincidentally Africa's richest man. We also have here chairman of Hares Group, Tony Elumelu, who also happens to be chairman of Transcorp. We also have former CBN governor, Anambra State, and also now current Anambra State governor, Charles Chukwuma Soludo. Also, Dapo Abiodun, Ogun State governor, who also is, an economist in his own right. We also have the DG of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Segun Ajayi Kadir. They have different things to say as regards, this. Chairman of BOA is saying the volatility in the foreign exchange market was not only manipulative, but artificial. And that, we're not saying that we have all the answers. We will not be blamed for not trying. We assure Nigerians that we'll do our best to get our Marshall Plan in place and fashion out the best economic future of this country. Chairman of Aliko Dangote, he said, and I quote, "I think we had a very, very good meeting, and what we discussed is generally about the economy, food security, and security. We discussed everything in detail. And there is the Economic Presidential Advisory Committee, which has been set up, and I think this will look at all the issues and address them, coming from job creation, food security, and also refloating the economy." Mr. Elumelu also said, "I left this meeting with a lot of enthusiasm, excitement, and optimism about the future of our country. I believe that implementing the decisions we arrived at today will propel our economy and help alleviate the poverty in the land, help create employment, and help put food on the table." All right. And then we also have here Anambra State Governor and former CBN Governor Charles Soludo said, "It's a tripartite meeting designed to put heads together and to think together. We have one national economy, and it's the responsibility of the 225 million Nigerians to work together to make it great. We have all the potential. We have all that it takes to make Nigeria ride through these turbulent times and put the economy back on a sustainable keel." Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun, as I can assure you, all hands on deck. All governors have resolved to join hands with Mr. President to ensure he provides the necessary intervention to cushion the effect of what we are going through. The DG of MAN saying, "I think the private sector is looking forward to the implementation of most of the decisions that we have made with the president. Manufacturers are looking forward to an environment that is conducive to business." There's just a lot to take away from this. So, as regards this, very simple. What do you think about the idea of a tripartite panel for the economy? What do you make of the president's statement that they may not have answers now, but they are trying? And what do you make of the composition of the panel? I've put out the names of those on the panel. And do you think these ones can get us out of the current economic woes that we are in? Very simple. All right, let's take Fuhad's thoughts before we open the phone line officially for our listener to share theirs. This is Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Hello, good morning, Fuad, once again. Your thoughts on the focal points.
All right, I'll start with the tripartite panel. Okay. And I'll make it very fast. I've said all I need to say, really. Just one or two additions. And, again, why are we putting the cart before the horse? Before we remove subsidy floated the naira, why didn't we have this panel in place for? Have a conversation around the policy in itself, implementation, the effect, and how to attend to the effect. Because again, one of the things that you remember Professor Usman Yusuf said was that, look, the president made all of these decisions without even having an economic team in place. So why? So look, when we said it then that, look, there was no plan, this is exactly what we're saying. And that was why I was trying to get you to understand the statement that we may not have answers yet, but we are trying. Because the assumption of a lot of the supporters of government at that time was that, look, there was a plan, they knew what they were doing, they had answers to all the problems, people were experts. Now the government is coming to tell us that, look, it's not as you think, we don't really have answers to some of these things, but we are trying to get answers to them. Now I must say that, look, you don't gamble with people's lives, you don't gamble with government policy. That's why it requires detailed planning. It requires being very, you see, yes, governance policies can come and then you tinker with it. But you put it on a foundation that shows critical thinking and proper planning. But again, now that we have a panel, I'm just worried, that this is a completely elitist composition in terms of the panel. It is completely elitist and capitalist in orientation, completely. And that was why I told you that one of the takeaways is they gave me yesterday that look, countries begin to look towards the east. Because again, a lot of the Eastern economies are more about the people. It's about welfareist economic policy, if you understand what I'm saying. But when you have extreme capitalism, it's more for the bourgeoisie and the elitist class. So I don't know how they want to create a balance between these their extreme capitalist orientation and a welfareist economy. And in welfareist economy, we are not talking about tokenism. Tokenism is the idea of giving cash handouts, giving rice and beans to the people. No, that is not the kind of economy we should run. Even in the short term, we are talking of a welfareist economy that supports businesses, create an enabling environment for people to thrive without necessarily waiting for government to come and feed them or give them rice and beans and carry. That is tokenism. You don't run an economy of tokenism and expect to get people out of poverty. You are going to push more people into poverty. And I'm hoping that this tripartite panel will also be bold enough to tell the government that, look, no matter the economic policies you put in place, no matter the efforts you put in place, if you don't fight and kill corruption, nothing will work. Sandra, if you go and look at the Chinese model, Sandra, or you talk about the Singaporean model, or talk about the Asian tigers, what they've been able to do, you know what, Sandra? At the change of the economic fortune, when they were going to move from underdeveloped to developing and now developed nations of the world, you know the first thing they did? They killed corruption in their country. Zero tolerance to corruption. That is why in China, they can't just kill the state. In Singapore, the same thing. In most of the Asian countries that are thriving, the Asian tigers, corruption has been killed, they have been buried. Their corruption index is at the barest minimum because they know that, look, all of their economic efforts will amount to nothing if they don't fight corruption and kill it. We can't have this high level of corruption index and expect anything to work. So government in itself and all of these people on the panel should be able to sit down to tell themselves that, look, we are only passing around if we don't kill corruption. And that's my take on that this morning. And then on the issue of us sliding down, the ladder.
Economy, yes, in Africa.
You see, the reality is that, look, again, like you always ask, are we really the giants of Africa? Are we really the giants of Africa? We have what it takes, Sandra. The president and his team have said that they are looking at a $1 trillion economy. Sandra, we can do $2 trillion. Unfortunately, now we are sliding the ladder. We are running a little over a $350 billion economy, just about $400 billion economy. That's the size of the economy of a city like Istanbul. Just a city. Sandra,
all right,
Lagos can run a $500 billion economy. We have the potential. We have what it takes. Nigeria can do a $1 trillion economy. But we have to sit down, harness our God-given resources, fight corruption, also cut down the cost of governance, reform our electoral process so that people with good thinking can go into governance. Look, some of our brightest minds, Sandra, some of our smartest people stay away from politics because of the kind of politics we play. Look at Edo State, for example. Look at what is happening in Edo. Do you think decent people want to go into that kind of politics? And that is why we keep saying that, look, one of the things we need to do too, apart from fighting corruption, is to reform our electoral process so that people of quality thinking, quality mind, good thinking, can also join the political process to rescue this country out of the economic doldrums we find ourselves. But we can't be running a democracy this way or electoral process this way and expect smart people to go into it. That's why the worst of us are the ones ruling the best of us. And that's why we're in this mess.
Thank you very much, Said Fuhad. I think we can now open the phone line for our dear listener to share his or her thoughts as regards the focal point for the day. It is Mainland Focus on Mainland 98.3 FM. There you have it. What do you think? Well, we have quite a lot of messages on Facebook already. Thank you very much for staying with us. Yes, we're social. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM. You can drop your comments in the live chat section, and we are sure to read them out as the show progresses. The number to call to join the conversation is 0913 6000 410. 0913 6000 410. That is the number to call, all right, to join in. And for text messages and WhatsApp messages, yes, you can send that to 0913 6000 430. Yes, for text messages and WhatsApp messages, It's 0913-6000-430. Let's have a conversation as regards, the two focal points. The first, of course, as regards the tripartite panel, and also the fact that Nigeria is falling out of top 4 economies in Africa. What do you think? All right, let's have our first call for the day. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
John from Mobile. Good morning, Swag.
Yes,
good morning,
carry
sir.
on.
Yeah, so we have said nearly everything that is needed to be said. This economic advisory committee or whatever, to me, these are people that have monopolistic capital tendency. How do you want to, you are inviting Dangote, you are inviting Elumelu, you are inviting Rabiu. These are people that are set up in the jugular economically over the years. Imagine cement at 12,000 naira plus now, and we are manufacturing it in Nigeria. What is the reason for this? That is number one. To say that he is working towards the he may not have answers now. If he does not have answers, please, he should throw in the towel. That is for that, honestly. If they do not have answers to our problem now, he should throw in the towel. And like I've said, that the best that should be in policies are not there because of the electoral reforms that is not in place. And you are truly right. Until we go to referendum, let us sit down and talk how we are going to stick together the country. Nigeria may go under. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. John from Ogwa. I appreciate. There's one thing that stood out for me. He said you're reporting the wicked to the wicked. What was yes. That stood out for me. I had to.
So you know the meaning of that?
I don't know. That's why I read it. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Alhaji Suba.
Alhaji Suba, please go on.
Thank you. Mr. Fawab.
Yes, good morning,
God
sir.
will, Mr. Said Fuad, God will continue to bless you, sir.
Amen, sir.
In fact, I always, feel healthy anytime I had your composition of analysis. In fact, that moved me, changed my morale. Like your moderator said, concerning Nigeria, falling below, in terms of our economy. How are we not going to? Why is it not going to happen like that? When our leader failed to do the right thing. Look at Fawab said something to change our forest, to earn more forest. We have what it takes. Why is our leader not doing the right thing? The refinery is there that earn more, that earn us more forest. A lot of things is there, but they are doing the wrong thing. That's you see, that's what I said. Said Fawab has said so many of these things. And concerning the composition of the tripartite committee, let me tell you, Nigeria knows. The composition of those two, they are capitalist people, and they are the people that brought us into this position we are. Look at what Dangote is producing. What is the benefit of Nigeria concerning all its products? Look at cement, look at sugar. You understand? The same thing with the Elumelu. We heard of what the composition of what the CEO of bank did. Where did they get the dollars? They mop up all the dollars from bank. So you see, our president does, he has not. He has not gone the right thing. They have not got the economic, team. He think of these people. These are capitalists. Have a nice day. I don't want to say more than that.
It's okay. Thank you very much, Alhaji Suba. I appreciate. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Good morning, Sandra and Fuad.
Good morning, Madam Ifi.
How was the weekend?
Oh, fine, thank you.
Yeah. You see, I saw them in the national news yesterday. I was just saying, I said, these people have started again with committee. That is exactly what the former president did in the first 4 years, setting up committee upon committee upon committee. Is it the people that are holding the economic jugular of Nigeria that are bringing to come and advise you? Why don't you call me, Madam, if you call Fuad, call Alhaji Suba, call Peter and Mose. Let's all go and tell them how to run it. You want to bring people who are already killing us to come and give you advice on what to do. They don't do things like that. And Nigeria should have known it that when he went to shut him out, when they were telling him, when the Oyiboma asked him questions, we push him, he said, we have answer. We have not, at that point, we should have known that this man is going to dedicate a lot of his job to it's chronic, and that is what is happening. Now look at us now. I'm coming out for the protest. I know my legs are paining me, but I will still go out. If I see where they are protesting, I will go and stand there. Good morning.
Thank you, Madam Ife. Appreciate 0913-6000-410. But please, just take care of yourself. Whatever your limits is. As regards the trek or the walk or the. I don't know what they'll be doing tomorrow, but then just be very, very careful. 5 minutes gone past 9. It is still Mainland Focus. 0913-6000-410. Hello, good morning.
Hello. Good morning. This is Olaiwola.
All right, Mr. Olaiwola, where are you calling from?
Calling from Jai.
Jai, please go on.
I want to talk to Mr. Fuad. Mr. Fuad is talking about the modern refinery. Modern refinery, the reason why the modern refinery cannot work in Nigeria is that if we are not talking about the operational aspect of it, we are only talking about where the government is looking at is the environmental factor. Is it the environment this modern refinery is building? Is it going to be protected and it's not going to affect the crop and the fire around that place? That is the issue here. And if you are talking about the other sector, in terms of economic, they say that what we can earn on forest and those modern refinery, if we can supply them, and those places, if you supply them, those modern refineries situated area that the environment is going to be protected and not going to affect the immediate community or the land.
Mr. Olaiwola,
yeah.
Modular refineries, we have functional ones at this time. There are some that are already functional, and there's a contribution that they are also giving to the income of this country at this time, and that's not even on the focus at all for today. So I don't know how you want to tie it.
I want to relate it to the economic policies on ground, because it might empower those people that we are talking about, the capitalist economic aspect, the way the committee set up yesterday. If those people begin to operate also, the money that is supposed to be meant for the poor people, they will begin to save it. At the end of the day, the immediate community, these operations created are not going to protecting the land there, and they are not going to give them the benefit, and they will embrace the money, and they will begin to check the economic of the nation. That's why
I'm modeling things over.
Yes, I mean, I'm a little bit thrown off. I'm not a little bit. I'm thrown off. I think I'll just put it at that, because at this point now, are we talking about modular refineries? Are we talking about foreign exchange? Are we talking about generating generating income for the nation? Are we talking about the capitalism? I don't know. It's just a lot.
Maybe he's mistaking modular refineries for illegal refineries. That's why he's talking about the environment.
Okay. The safety of the environment.
We are not talking about illegal refineries. We're talking about modular refineries.
We have 25.
They are just smaller versions of the big refineries. That's what we're saying.
They need less capital. That's just
they are not as big as the big.
They are not as big as the Port Harcourt, Warri, Kaduna ones. It's all right. But thank you very much. Maybe as we go on, or as the show progresses, you can get a hold of the focal points for the day, and then you can call back and share your contribution as regards the focus for the day. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Olaiwola. Hello. Good morning.
Sandra and Fuad, good morning. This is Paul from Egbeda.
Good morning.
How was your weekend?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah. Sandra, you look beautiful today. I appreciate your dressing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Paul. Carry on.
Yeah, I was watching you on Facebook anyway.
Okay.
You see, God has given us Fuad as one of the most eloquent and brilliant journalists in Nigeria, and we appreciate him, and we pray for good health and long life for him, and you, Sandra, and all the crew of Mainland FM.
Thank you.
Now, you see, with this inauguration or the meeting, it's clear. It is very clear, crystal clear, that we are bound to doom. Involving Nigerian governors in anything about the survival of this country is a complete failure at the very beginning. Nigerian governors that are receiving billions now, and there is no food in their state. no road, schools are not, teachers are not being paid. What do they have to offer? And look at the class of the governors, Soludo. Go to another state.
Is former CBN governor, Mr. Paul.
What about if Abbas as governor?
He has failed. Is he not my zone? Soludo is one of the worst governors in Nigeria today. Go there and make an investigation. He has nothing to offer. What is Dakwa doing in Ugo State? What has he done? What has he done? Okay, look at the kind of people that are selected. Look at Dangote. What is Dangote offering Nigerians? That a bag of cement is close to 13,000 naira in Lagos State, and such a capitalist are bringing him to think how Nigeria can be better economically. It's a failure already. These guys have nothing to offer us. That is the bitter truth about it, and it is a shame that Nigeria has been overtaken by Ethiopia. I mean, it's a call for reflection. Nigerians, look, something urgently needs to be done to redeem this country. Economically, we are out of track. We are out of track. A tin of milk, how much? A bag of rice, how much? Just go to the market. I went to market yesterday. People were crying inside the market. I am telling you the gospel truth. A little Titus fish, because I always like it because omega H3 it contains the oil. I went to buy Titus yesterday. Sandra, small Titus was 2,300 naira. Small Titus. What we used to buy 500 naira, 300. So where are we heading to?
All right.
So this group cannot give us what we want. If Mr. President wants to redeem this country economically, he should look for technocrats, people that have no business in making profit for themselves, but thinking of the well-being of Nigerians, just like Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the blessed memory, did in the southwest region. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Paul from Egbeda. Some people argue that there are some technocrats amongst them, but maybe they have now converted to public officials. So let's see what we have here. We have some Facebook messages, yes, and we have quite a number of viewers on Facebook. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate. Please do well to like and share the post. We would really appreciate that. All right. Patrick Obiazo Fuad, please help me out because I'm getting more confused. What exactly is the economic direction or policy thrust of the government? Is it industrialization, investment, production, or trial and error?
I have told you before, and I still maintain the same thing. But the government can prove me wrong. The economic thrust is to make money available to government, to share amongst government with the promise that they use the money to better the lives of the people in a very corrupt system. It's a strange one for me, really.
Why is it difficult for the president to constantly engage or address the citizens about the state of the nation, his policies, and our support instead of engaging, it said a whole lot, who are singing it, okay? What do you think?
Support what economy?
Regular briefing to the people, engaging the people.
Yeah, well, it's good to engage the people. We hope the more engagements they have directly with the people, I think the better they get the feedback and the pulse of the people, feel the pulse of the people.
Maybe like a media chat, the one we used to have with Obasanjo.
That might be a bit difficult at this time. Also, I'm not making excuses, but we have a lot of angry Nigerians at this time. I don't know how that can be done, really.
It's okay. All right, what is the situation with our much celebrated completed refinery and the students' loan?
Which refinery?
February is almost ended.
The loan was supposed to, I think February is still on, but we're hoping that before the end of February it will come. I think we have a date, 27th or 28th or so. Okay, so tomorrow, right? So let's hope it will come on board tomorrow.
All right. Please, when is the government releasing the much publicized promised 42,000 metric tons of grains to Nigerians to crash the prices? Or are they in the same class of promissory notes?
No, but as Akodi said, it's in the pipeline.
How long is the pipeline?
I don't know. I didn't build the pipeline.
It's okay. All right, Patrick Obiazo, thank you very much. I don't know, but Fuad is not a part of this government, but it's just questions to be directed at him. We also have here Joshua Andova from Oregon. Joshua from Oregon is saying, good morning and welcome to the new week. This morning, I would liken this government to a man that starts digging well when the house is already on fire and not even There's no water, not even a water ground. Because this same Dangote that was accused by EFCC a few weeks ago about this forex, we heard nothing about that issue, and now he's on the list to reform the economy. Sam, as Ogun State governor, what has he been doing? Okay, just last week, people died at customs office. Yeah, 7 people.
They say people died,
Yes, in quest for rice, and the government is busy gathering people in the name of committee.
You know what, Sandra? Because again, people need to understand why we're talking about people with extreme capitalist orientation. During the Obama era in the US, Sandra, at a stage, he had to go after the banks. He had to really go after the banks, and it was a serious fight to get America out of the hands of this extreme elitist class who are capitalists and profiteers. And I'll read what he said. One of the statements he said at that time, so that people can understand where we're coming from. That, look, we should no longer allow banks to stray too far from their central mission of serving their customers. In recent years, too many financial firms have put taxpayers' money at risk by operating hedge funds and private equity funds and making riskier investments to reap a quick reward. And these firms have taken these risks while benefiting from special financial privileges that are reserved for only the banks. Where I'm going to is, Sandra, is that, look, we've overfed these guys. That's why people are asking, look at our banks. How do you have a struggling economy? But the banks are declaring profits, the executives of banks are becoming billionaires in dollars and all of that. Why are we not looking into that side? And then all of these guys in this panel, what kind of business model?
They're the ones that are to rescue the economy now.
These guys you brought together, how did they make in a very struggling economy? People are getting poorer, they are getting richer.
It's all right. We also have Obiora Ezechukwu. This set of people are the same people that brought this calamity to Nigeria. Ex-President Buhari's government is being blamed today because of the same set of people. I also have here Ebilade Ambo. Import costs should be low, export costs lower. This will encourage manufacturers to ship in raw materials for production, and exporters will easily export things like cocoa, cashew nuts, and palm kernels to earn dollars. I don't know about that though. But Chika Bende from Trade Fair is also saying Nigeria economy now, with due respect, is nothing to write home about. And I don't know the rationale or measure the rating was done. If not, how can likes of Morocco that has necessary things help and build economy like steady power supply and security be behind Nigeria? Then on newly constituted economic team, you can see clearly how deceitful this government has been. No plans in place before making those suicidal decisions and policies. To make it worse, most of the names on the team are economic. Chika Bende from Trade Fair, thank you very much. Mainland 98.3 FM. Let's go back to the phone line. I'll be back to Facebook. Please turn down the volume of your radio set. Thank you. Oh, did we lose that? Okay. Hello, good morning.
Sandra, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
This is Comrade Collins from Alimosho.
All right. Comrade, please go on.
Please, which advice did Dangote want to advise president that will make bag of cement come back to 5,000 naira? Or which advice did Elumelu want to advise president that will make dollar rate not flutter? Which advice did Soludo and this other governor want to advise the president that will make after the share fact the dollar rate will go high, will come down, Which advice are they going to advise Mr. President? Please, this committee, don't worry. You will see here amount of billion they will budgeted for this committee when they want to see. They are just doing this for themselves. That does not concern the masses. It's already a failure. The president should just return the fuel price down and return the dollar rate the way it is. That is, and you should start production instead of import. Let them start exporting. That is the only solution to Nigerian dollar rate hike and the economy. They should just start think about what they want to produce, not what they want to import. What they want to export, that is the real problem. If Nigeria does not export, nothing will happen to Nigerian economy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade Collins. Appreciate. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Madam Sandra. Good morning, Oga.
Morning, sir.
My name is Malam Salah.
Yeah, Malam Salah. Good morning.
Malam Salah. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma. Oga, you see, 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, is it IMF or World Bank has predicted that our currency, our inflation will go up to 44%. Agree?
Yes.
And the value of Naira is going to about 2,400 and something. Is that true, sir?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Over about 2 weeks, what have our country or our government have done so far to make sure that dream has not come to reality or that prediction has not come to reality. You understand?
I'm with you.
Sir, we are just stagnant as a nation. You see, instead of them to think ahead, they are busy giving us an extra rice of 10,000 naira for 25 kg of rice of 20 years, 30 years, in an enquete environment.
They said the rice is fit
it's
for
good
consumption.
It's good for consumption. That's what I said.
Let us just use small analysis now before my time run out now. We never had this kind of exercise during Buhari now of 8 years. We have it. No. We never had it during Jonathan and Yaradua. So of course, no. And those rights has been there even before, during Obasanjo's era. We never had this kind of exercise. So how can someone who is that quality controller can come and certify that those good for consumption? It's another cancer of its own, sir. You understand? Sir, let me tell you something, sir. Now he's coming with some certain whatever committee of the capitalists like
Dᴏᴏ
Dᴏᴏ and Co. These are the people that place cement at the rate of 10,000 before they are above. You know, the richest man in Africa, the South African guys, said that you cannot make business and succeed if you are not connected to government. Isn't it? In Nigeria, I think.
You said it, yeah.
So this is the opportunity for most of them, sir. Most of them, this is the opportunity of them to strengthen their business, not to think about Nigeria as a country.
Right.
Now let's talk about
Thank you.
Time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning. This is Moses from Command.
From Command.
Yes, Moses from Command.
All right. Please go on.
Please, I just want to say a simple thing. I've been listening to your program for all this while, so I just want to make this. If you just want to hear the truth might be very bitter, and we will not want to hear it. What is the truth? When the foundation of a something is wrong, no matter the expert you bring in, no matter the best hand you bring in, nothing will work on that foundation. The same thing with the nature of life. No matter if you plant a yam, you cannot, no matter what you do, even if you bring the best fertilizer, then the best seed, it will not produce cocoyam and it will not produce granite. It is the same thing you will produce. What am I trying to say is that when the people is being averted, when the will of the people is being taken away, nothing you will do that will bring in the best thing. The people were being averted as they told us to go to court. They told us to go to this. Nothing will work. Until the foundation, that is what I'm trying to say, until the electoral process is being set aright, that the people will be done. Nothing you will do. Even if they bring in the best, I will do to make sure that the economy goes down. Rather, they will do things for them to raise up. So, I'm not saying what I'm trying to say, that let the will of the people prevail. The government is already doing things wrong, and they came in a wrong process, and nothing they will do. Even if they like, they bring Babalawo or the best pastor to do everything, nothing will work until we go back to the foundation, which is the right process of electoral process. That is the only way we can get it right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate Mr. Moses from Command. I don't know, bringing extraterrestrial for what?
I don't know about that. Or has it gotten to the point where we have
call
to
on
look
the earth, wind, and fire? Do something about
if that will work, why not?
We are desperate. So.
Desperate times for desperate measures.
Kayode Adetunji, always enjoy your analysis. Combo of Omopola, Sage, Fuad. God bless you all. Thank you, Mr. Kayode. Also have here Robert Patrick. This government is just beating about the bush. Nothing tangible to offer. I also have Owen Nat. Yes, good morning, Sandra and Fuad. These people have been part of the failed system and policies and are currently benefiting from our current situation. Are these the best minds Nigeria has to offer? Owen from Lagos. I share your thoughts. Good morning, Milan FM. My country of policy makers, but no policy implements. That was how a BBC report described us in the late 80s. Just a bunch of people with too many ideas.
Well.
Frederick Moka, thank you. Benjamin from Shogunle. Good morning, Milan FM. Setting up panel upon panel will not solve the problem of Nigeria. How many panels former President Buhari set up? Did any of them solve our problem? The answer is no. The answer to Nigeria's problem is to fight corruption, and the person to do this is the person who is corruption free. It is a shame that our politicians don't see anything wrong with Nigeria, who was once giant of Africa, becoming the least as far as economy is concerned. Well, we're not yet least. I mean, we're still top 5, so we're still there, somewhere there. Patrick from Shogunle, thank you very much. Albert Oyinola, Tinubu should address the issue of hunger and its cause, not forming or inaugurating committees this time. We also have, okay, thank you. Olarinwaju Olans Shegun. The reason why this country is stagnant is because all our leaders are greedy and wicked. James Ogbonna from Oshodi. Sandra and distinguished Fuad, I greet you favorably. Sandra, I eventually lost my mom for sunrise on Saturday. I'm so sorry about that, Mr. James Ogbonna. He has been sharing, details of his mom's health in recent times with us. I'm really sorry about that. I hope that you get the strength that you need to move past this. He said, I continue, I've now joined the Orphans Association. Yeah.
Sorry about that, James.
On the economic team set up by Mr. President, let me agree with Fuad that it's a case of building a house before laying the foundation underground. Mr. Fuad, most of these guys are businessmen who have investments across the country. What do you think their advice would be? How would they advise the president? Wouldn't their advice be, selfish to better their interest? They should have representatives of different social class of people in the country, from the common man who goes to the market every day to the big man who doesn't even know the price of things in the market. Assembling businessmen and politicians to give economic advice, they will give advice that will favor their businesses. I'm not joining any protest tomorrow because my mandate wasn't stolen. I gave it to someone else. Yesterday was our 1-year anniversary of our presidential election. Yes, but we have moved on. Let's focus on governance now. James Ogbonna from Oshodi, thank you very much.
I'm sorry about your mom.
I'm really sorry about that. Oluwafe, the easiest job in Nigeria today is to be critic of governments, and Fuad is doing well on that. I hope when government reform is bringing results, I hope Fuad will admit that he failed to tell Nigerians that we must go through these processes if truly we want to come out of this woe. I just have a question to ask Mr. Oluwafe. What's the process exactly that we are going through for us to? Because if you're going to be hopeful or optimistic about something, that means you're looking up to something. You're looking forward to something. So what is that thing that you're holding on to that's giving you this, positive outlook? I'd like to share, in that positivity. I would love to, believe you me, but I'm not seeing anything. So you're seeing something.
You should tell us what he's seeing that we're not seeing,
so we can see it. And then we can also, share in that positive, aura.
Or maybe he needs to keep his comments when we now see that result.
No. We want to see the...
No. For people like them who are already seeing what we're not seeing. Okay. When we see it, when everything... Look, you should talk to the reality of Nigerians at this time and leave whatever I'm saying. A lot of times what we say here is to get you thinking. We're not imposing our opinion on you, really. And if you're seeing what you are not seeing, bring it to the table. Let's talk about it.
I'm just grateful. I'm glad that he accepts that we are going through woes. Right?
Okay.
Yes, no, because he said that we must go through these processes if truly we want to come out of this.
Which process is he talking about? Which woe? Okay, I agree that
there's a woe. Okay. He agrees that there's a woe. But the processes that we are going through is what I'm a little bit confused about, because...
Don't get confused or something.
We're just on our own here. Well, those are the messages we have for now on Facebook. I'll be back to Facebook in a bit. It is to mainland 98.3 FM. Let's have a conversation. The focal points for the day. The president has put together a tripartite economic advisory committee that comprises of the big dogs in the in the business world. At this time now, we have BUA that promised us that cement will be 3.5 by November. I'm not going to let go.
Some of you don't understand good English. Maybe it was this say 3.5.
He said 3.5. I read that correctly. Please.
3.5.
Yes, you can't take that away. All right. But chairman of BUA Group, BUA company, that's Mr. I've forgotten that name. Rabiu, yes. Mr. Rabiu, who promised that, but then he's a part of this committee. We also have Aliko Dangote.
People quoted him out of context.
The richest man in Africa is also a part of this committee. We have Tony Elumelu, group chair, Hares Holding and Transcorp, is also a part of this committee. Former CBN governor and current governor of Anambra State, Charles Soludo, is also a part of the committee. We also have Dapo Abiodun, who also, was in the business world, the oil and gas business world, the petroleum, sector before he became a public service holder, is also on the committee. The DG of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Segun Kadir, is also, in this tripartite committee. What do you think of the composition of the panel? And do you think that we can trust them to take us out of the quagmire that we're in as regards our economy? Also, Nigeria is falling out of top 4 economies in Africa. As it is now, Nigeria is close to being classified as a low-income economy. We have ahead of us Egypt, South Africa, Algeria, Ethiopia, Morocco. Those are the countries that are ahead of us as regards economy in Africa at this time now. So, is the giant still the giant? And how can we get back our glory days? Those are the focal points for the day. 0913-6,410. That is the number to call. For text messages, 0913-6,004. Okay, yes. 430. I have here text messages. Okay. Peter from Agbado. I see Fuad as one of the worst of all. Proud reporter. Always sees himself as the best. You are not concentrating, Mr. Peter, because Fuad is not our problem.
Maybe I'm the one. I'm his governor, and I'm the president.
We're looking at the fact that Nigeria. The reason why Nigeria is way behind. We're now almost 5th or 6th.
And I'm the problem.
If cares, let's also focus.
This is J.K. Joshua from Ultimata.
Oh, J.K. Joshua. That's interesting. You're welcome.
To President Tinubu. I'm not sure this is President Tinubu I knew. It's as if when there is insecurity in the country, there is no plan. No new network as to solving insecurity. If you solve insecurity, there is no money to your country. What is Dangote doing there? Tony Elumelu, what is Tony Elumelu doing there? These are people. Careless people.
Thank you very much.
Drink water, get Joshua.
I will not take that lightly because they are sharing rice in Ogun State.
There's no road in your state.
Yes.
Calling from me, October.
Okay.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yes. Please, how did that person get to that place?
They invited some governors.
They don't read them. That's how
without sports road.
Oh my goodness.
He's a state governor and he used to be a businessman.
Which state?
He was in the oil sector.
He's a governor of which state?
Ogun State.
Okay.
Well
done.
There's work to do as regards our economy. So, he's not the only governor. So, Miriam, that's all you called to do, to throw jabs at my governor?
She's just been laughing,
No, please. I would not take that. All right, please. Charles Soludo is there, former CBN governor.
What do you want me to say about that? I don't know.
You should know one or two. If we can listen to the former emir, if we can listen to him, Lamido Sanusi has been saying a whole lot as regards the economy in recent times.
Have we just been saying? They've been saying.
Yes,
have they been doing?
If we can listen to him, he is also a former CBN governor.
They've been saying. Have they been doing?
I'm wondering why he was not invited. Good morning, Mr. Fuad and Lady Sandra. So Nigeria has literally nothing to boast of apart from past glory. Okay, Chuku from Ojuelegba. Unfortunately, that is our situation at this time now. Godwin from Ilasa on WhatsApp is saying Nigeria will keep sinking below other African countries because of the kind of leaders our kind of election is bringing out. I like the way he phrased that. Sandra, at the corruption index of Egypt, South Africa, Ethiopia, and etc., compare it to our corruption index, then you see why we are where we are. Obasanjo said that 80% of our daily crude is stolen. My sister, it hurts me very badly that Nigeria is a country which at a point was sending human resources to build countries like Malaysia, Mauritius, and co. Until we kill corruption in this country, we ain't moving anywhere. The economic community members established by TINUBU are the main enemies of the poor masses of this country. They are the cronies of these politicians. How did they make their money? And how much of tax have they been paying? One day will be one day. I won't finish that. Just leave it at that. Good morning, Sam from Magodo. The government knows what to do to strengthen the Naira, but if they don't know, they should swallow their pride and seek for help from experts and stop the blame game. Nigerians are tired. There is no food shortage in Nigeria. Rather, there is no money to buy food due to the hardship. The government should address the real issues of poverty. Well, I mean, they're asking the experts, and that's why the tripartite committee has been put together to ask the experts.
So why are the experts?
Good morning, Sandra and Fuad. People who have been able to build...
Ms. Kouani is there. He's a very famous economist, so he's part of the tripartite committee.
There's a reason why his name is in the papers.
Well, he's there. He's part of the committee, part of the panel.
Good morning, Sandra and Fuad. Looking at the countries ahead or trailing Nigeria statistically, these countries have created an enabling environment, zero room for corruption, and the safety of lives, properties, and businesses. Owen from Lagos. So how can we get back our own glory days? May we not say once upon a time, we pray that for ourselves, but that seems to be the situation of the country at this time. Good morning, Sandra and Fuad. For me, the composition of the economic committee is largely... Okay. They will not put the ordinary Nigerian who drinks pure water and who will tell them the truth, but this overfed bourgeoisie who actually are gaining from these same adverse policies of government. What a shame. Okangbelina from Mafoluku. Yeah, I couldn't call him.
I guess he's been trying to get in.
All right, that's before the horse. How can he begin to set up the economy? The most worrisome Nigerians, or is it Governor Abiodun declaring that President Tinubu administration has nothing to offer Nigerians? No wonder he shared most of the questions asked at Chatham House to his spokespersons. Now we can see the result. So maybe he had plans, but the people that were supposed to help
of your result, people know,
are mere advisors. Their recommendations are not binding on the government economic advisors, e.g. Soludo, Rwane, etc. Was the economy not in comatose then? Therefore, I don't envy them. Rashid from Ajegunle, thank you very much. All right, 9:41 a.m. This is Mainland Focus, and it's been such a thrill. We can take one more phone call and a few more messages as we wrap things up on the show. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning,
How
Pastor
are you this
Ambrose.
morning, Sandra?
I'm well, thank you.
Fuad, I greet you.
Good morning, Pastor Ambrose.
We thank God for another day.
Yes, sir.
Have you noticed that anything President Tinubu is doing, he will always include that for Abiodun? Because that was where he declared a Milocon. That was where he declared a late. So even when he wanted to appoint a minister, you could see how many people he brought out from Ogun State. So let's not get it twisted. Now you talk about the people in his team. Like you have said, is it Dangote that each time he sees that his economic value is dwindling, he will increase his price to compete with to continue to be the richest man in Africa? Or is this thing Chukwuma Soludo?
Femi Otedola is also there.
Femi Otedola too. All of them, they are my street people. They're very, very straight people, and they don't consider anybody. I know people who have worked with Femi Otedola. Even Femi Otedola and Dangote, they don't agree. I remember years back, more than 10 years ago, Femi Otedola had some flyers trying to discredit Dangote all over Lagos then. Why didn't he put Sanusi? Because Sanusi will tell him the truth. You say you have economic team and you are not sincere. If they say before you begin a journey, you will know where you are going to. All of these people that have put this country to all of this mess, all of these people that you put there, they can pay the debt of this country. And you put them there, they don't have anything to offer. I'm telling you the truth. This president, every move that he makes is tilted towards making the rich richer. This the Dangote that carried went to 30,000 and still counting, that want to come and make our economy. So I don't understand. Each time some people will tell us to be patient, I keep on saying it. I don't have any other country than this country, Nigeria. And as I'm talking to you now, I don't have any plan to japa. And as I'm talking to you now, the people who mean well for this country are the people who are telling the president the truth. Not those who are telling us to give him more time. The other day he said we are in the same shoe. For where our shoe not there the same, I beg. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Pastor Ambrose. That's the last call we can afford to take on the show today. We really sincerely appreciate it. All right. Well, as we wrap things up, we have a few messages that we can have here. Good morning, Sandra. The listener that castigates Mr. Fuad is likely to be the one of the suffering and smiling party loyalists. Mr. Fuad should just ignore. Oh, no. That's not a problem. Larry Bashir from K2. I mean, we need people to also enlighten us. I mean, there's some things we don't know that they know that they
it's
can,
okay, it's fine.
Bring to light and help us out of our ignorance, quote and unquote. Good morning, Sandra and Fuad. Honestly, the Economic Advisory Committee is a complete joke and waste of time. The members are profiteers who always put their first in everything. Sincerely speaking, I am worried about the future of this country. On falling ladder, Nigeria is the giant of Africa, precisely in poverty. I don't think so, but okay. Our leaders had completely ruined this country. I'm talking about building it now will take external efforts because we are not even ready right now to do the right thing. Damnola from Alaba. Thank you very much. Well, that's all we can take. My sincere apologies if we were not able to take your messages or take your call. It's not intentional, but I mean, you can attest to the fact that time is never really a friend on this show. Even while extending the show from 9:30 to 9:45, we still do not have enough time to actually look at things properly. But then, as we always say at Mila 98.3 FM, the conversation never stops. So join 𝐿_𝐀𝐈𝐍𝐋𝐀𝐍𝐃 by 4 p.m. in the Situation Room. We also have the Big Talk by 10 a.m. on Wednesdays. Midweek Politics by 1 p.m. on Wednesdays. Open Forum by 1 p.m. on Thursdays. I mean, so many programs all lined up for you to have a conversation and be a part of the problem solving that we are geared towards at Midland FM. Thank you very much, Fuad Said.
Thank you for having me.
I'll see you by 10 a.m. for Global View, where we'll look at the top 3 trending stories on the international scene. My name still remains Omobola Sandra.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM.
Hello and welcome. This is your host, Godwin Asukwo, with another edition of Business Talks. In the studio with me today are 2 digital entrepreneurs from Vantage Markets. As we all know, Nigeria is experiencing a lot of changes. I'm not here today actually to complain on how many problems we have. I'm sure we are aware of the severity of our issues. It's the beginning of the year, and this is when we should focus on solutions. Vantage Markets is focused on helping individuals like me and you map out strategic moves that would help us achieve wealth creation. And we would be talking about ways to 10x our income this year. Talking about wealth creation, present here with me in the studios are Mr. Bolarinwa and Miss Genevieve Isiofia. Welcome to the studios.
Thank you for having us.
And they'll be talking on ways we can acquire income and master wealth generation, especially during times like this. We would be discussing the impact of the economy on income and accessible solutions. Bolarinwa, can you give us a quick recap of 2023 and what can change the dynamic?
A quick recap of our current situation, starting with inflation, which is currently at all-time high. Last year alone, inflation rate was 28.9% on paper. But in reality, everything has doubled or tripled within the last 1 year. Basic amenities are slowly turning into luxury. Unemployment rate is following closely behind, with public debt also increasing daily. With the amounts we owe, if they ask everyone to contribute, my question is, would you be able to pay? And you literally have two options right now. First is to keep complaining about the economy while you become poorer, which I don't recommend. The second is to take charge of your personal finances. The day that turned my life around was the day I realized that my personal economy does not have anything to do with Nigeria economy. It means Nigeria can be going through hard times, and it doesn't mean I have to go through hard times.
That's true. The